Praise be to Jesus. Gospel and a reflection taken from St. Luke chapter 10 verses 25 to 27. Just then a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" He said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" He answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." See the first of the rich young man. What commandment in the law is the greatest? Jesus speaks to him plainly. Turn the pages of the book of law, nothing more and nothing less. He does not bring an iota of change from the observances of the time. He, in the sense, feels that the young man deliberately chose to confront Jesus with such a tricky argument. He looks into the eyes of the young man, scans him in totality, and prompts him to speak the truth. Satisfied yet confused, gathering courage, he asks Jesus who he can regard as his neighbor. The young Jew, who was supposed to know the book of law, presents himself a person totally unaware of the existence of his neighbor. Jesus had to remove the scales from his eyes so as to make him see clearly where he and his neighbor stood. He had distanced himself from the other and had even lost his reasoning to recognize his fellow being. He might have developed such a cult by and by, and that forced him to cut all his ties from others and thus disregard the misery perpetrated on his fellow men. In a way, the young man was ahead of his age. We see how he approached Jesus and entered into a dialogue which we seldom come across in the scriptures. He held in high esteem the young man for his knowledge, yet gently appraises him on where he could still improve. So, dear friends, our love for God must issue in love for men. To be truly loving God is to love the fellow beings whom God made in His own image, and to love them with that total commitment which derives from the devotion to God and practical service of men. And the rich lesson of love of one's neighbor is enumerated threadbare through the depiction of the Good Samaritan. Amen.